Hi there, my name's Anna, and as you've probably already guessed, this video is about the incredible film that is Hot Fuzz and the genius that is the filmmaker Edgar Wright. Hot Fuzz is a fast-paced action comedy that follows the high-achieving, hard-working police officer Nicholas Angel after he's transferred from the dangerous city of London to the quiet, dozy little village of Sandford. But this village is anything but peaceful. As a filmmaker, Edgar Wright skillfully implements every element of filmmaking. In this video, I will be discussing Hot Fuzz's sound design and analysing some of the many techniques Wright uses to accentuate humour, subtly provide important information, and even purposely mislead us.
Bring the noise.
One of the things that I've always enjoyed about Edgar Wright's films is that he gives comedy space to breathe, whether that be physical comedy or verbal comedy. The simplest yet most effective way that Edgar Wright does this is by changing the audio from non-diegetic sound to diegetic sound really abruptly. Diegetic sound is any voice or sound effect that's presented as though it's coming from within the film's world, and non-diegetic sound is any sound that's presented as coming from a source outside of the space of the narrative. Edgar Wright engages this technique from the very first moment he can. Even before the first frame of the film, we are already hearing information. Underneath these logos, we can hear sirens from all kinds of emergency vehicles, and they seem to be coming closer and getting more and more busy. So we understand a disaster or emergency is going to happen. But Edgar Wright makes an interesting choice just as the first frame of action begins. He cuts away all of that sound and brings it down to just the natural diegetic sound. I believe this choice not only emphasizes the importance of this character, who is Nicholas Angel, but also shows us that no matter what disaster you're going through, there's only really one cop you need. This scene not only uses contrasting of diegetic and non-diegetic sound, but also the choice used in the non-diegetic sound made by Wright builds the suspense that helps the punchline land even better, but on top of that symbolizes Nicholas Angel's mind whirring, which is something we soon learn to be a fault of his.
Excuse me.
What?
When's your birthday?
22nd of February.
What year?
Every year.
Get out.
You don't switch off, do you?
In this next example, Wright uses the same technique in order to allow us to have a moment of humour.
Super cop. Meet the cop that can't be stopped.
Not only does that pause allow us to hear Danny's line of dialogue, but it also gives us the chance to apply it visually. Moments like that not only reward the audience for listening, but also give them a chance to catch their breath. Is there anything more satisfying than hearing a hollow object hit somebody else's head? You know, nothing beats it. Here, the technique is used to give us suspense and tension.
Yarp.
He's not gonna get back up again.
Narp.
Good. Proceed to the castle.
Okay, last example of this particular technique, and I think it speaks for itself. The next sound design technique I'd like to show you is a way that Edgar Wright very sneakily uses discernible sounds that would appear in the environment the characters are in, but places them close to lines of dialogue that he thinks you should be paying attention to. The first example of this that I want to show you, I believe Wright chose this auditory technique due to a line of big print in the script. The print reads, "Danny's ears prick up. He looks to Angel with awe."
Have you been stabbed, Sergeant Fisher?
You?
Well, I have.
It's such a smart choice to pick the sound of a till and put it right next to Danny's expression. It really draws our attention to it. And also there's symbolism of Danny cashing in on his new friendship with Nicholas Angel. I believe Wright used the same technique here to draw our attention to a line that was being delivered quietly, as it is a setup for a payoff at the end of the film.
See?
Everybody and their mums is packing round there.
Like who?
Farmers?
Who else?
Farmers' mums.
Now this is the same technique, but instead of a diegetic sound, Wright chooses a non-diegetic sound. It's still being used to foreshadow, but at this point in the film, Wright doesn't want us to suspect Frank, so it's done in a subtle way. But when the truth comes out, it's used again to marry these two moments together.
Mr. Skinner.
Is everything all right?
For who the bell tolls indeed, considering Frank is behind most of the murders in the town.
These people die for no reason whatsoever.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Wright skillfully uses sound effects or music to mislead us or subvert our expectations. In this scene, he adds an ominous overtone to what will end up being a very comedic scene.
Get the Chief Inspector to come all the way down here.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Kenneth?
Hello, Nicholas.
In this sequence, Edgar Wright wants to mislead us, but also needs to introduce us to all of the antagonists that will eventually be brought to the fore. Let's watch how he uses sound to not only place the red herring and lead Nicholas Angel on a wild goose chase, but us as well.
Morning, Sergeant.
Morning, Sergeant.
Lock me up.
I'm sorry?
I'm a slasher and I must be stopped.
Clever, isn't it? And this isn't the last time Wright uses ominous sound when we meet Simon Skinner.
Oh, you'll be in bits tomorrow.
Thank you so much for watching my video on the sound design of Hot Fuzz. I hope you enjoyed watching it just as much as I enjoyed making it. I wish I had more time because there was honestly so much I could have spoken about on the sound design of this film. If you haven't seen it, although I may have semi-spoilt it, definitely go watch it. It is a brilliant film. Not just for its sound design, but its editing. You get to watch Simon Pegg for a couple of hours, but to be honest, I'm more of a Nick Frost girl myself.
The duck pond.
Very entertaining, but I rather think you've been watching too many films.